Welcome to the Green Grassroots of Football with me, Andy Glover.
Me, Mark Grinter.
Okay, before we go further, I would just like to thank our sponsor, Rachel's Bookkeeping, for all of your bookkeeping needs. So this episode is actually going to be part one of a two-part special, where we look at what it means to be a grassroots football coach, and we are joined by a special guest who I will introduce in a moment. Then our next episode will take a look at some of the biggest administrative difficulties facing coaches, and we will look at least one technical solution. But more on that in the next episode. For now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest, someone Mark and I have been looking to get on here for a while, and we felt that this topic would be perfect for him to share his knowledge and experience. Our guest is Ben Gerasitano. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Andy.
And now, if I may, I would just like to pass over to Ben to tell us a little about himself. Ben.
Hi. Firstly, thank you for having me on. I've been coaching for around 10 years now. Seems like a lifetime, to be honest, but in a good way. Co-founded Red Falcon Football Club. Known Mark for a little bit longer than that, as I had my own soccer schools for a while, where I coached soccer tots, and that's a little bit about me, really. To be fair, yeah.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. So I usually begin with a quote, but for this episode, I'll start with three. So, a good coach takes his love for the game and instills it in you. He molds you into a player he sees inside of you and watches your talent and dedication grow into a skill that you both can be proud of. His payoff is the smile he sees in your face after you've reached your goal. His drive are the tears you cry because you want it so bad, knowing he had the same feeling inside him too. Make him proud and never get less than your best. You both deserve it. I'll just predicate or posticate, whatever you want to call it, that with him or her. Apologies there, I'm reading a quote. Another one. I am a coach because of the kids and the passion I have for the sport itself. There is no other feeling quite like helping young athletes further develop their natural persistence, determination, discipline, dedication, resiliency, work ethic, heart, leadership skills, connection with, and respect for others, not only in competition, but in life. And then finally, one for all you Celtic fans, I may be corrected here, John Collins.
Yep, Celtic.
Yeah,
Thank
Celtic,
you. Thank you.
Definitely, yeah.
Definitely a Celtic.
Too often I hear it. Clear your lines. You can't play football there. And you see young players kicking up the pitch thinking they're going about their job. Winning games is for the coach's ego. It should be about developing technically gifted players. So, well, I haven't got a list of things as such to go through. Just going to basically, I think tonight, talk about what it means to be a grassroots coach. Anybody want to start? I mean, I've got a few things here about what we do. The key one is coaching.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben, how did you start your journey into grassroots coaching?
My journey into grassroots coaching. So, I wanted to bring the children that I had in my soccer schools across to a grassroots club. Met with several. Didn't quite agree with their ethos. So, I had to take the big step and try and create one myself with a band of people who believed in that vision, which happened and is still happening 7 years down the line. So that was my journey into grassroots coaching. I didn't plan on being chairman of the club, but I just wanted to be a coach, but that kind of fell into place. It is what it is. And that's it really. I've just gone from there. It's just gone from, you might want to say, strength to strength. Not me personally, but the club has, and the children that I've coached.
Well, so I'm hoping this podcast doesn't actually put people off, if I'm honest. But I've got a list of things here, 8 for a start. So you're a coach, referee, kit person, first aider, grounds person, social events coordinator, treasurer, safeguarder, and as a part of it, you've got to continually professionally develop.
Yeah.
If I missed anything,
Sometimes you can be, I feel, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes you can also be, I feel sometimes like an uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like that extra
You're
parent, possibly.
that
That,
adult
yeah.
that they can go to as who they maybe not be able to speak to their parents about,
Yeah.
or some. You know, you're a role model. You're somebody that you
Definitely.
know. I think grassroots coaching, if you're being totally honest, we might have between the two, say Fries and Red Falcons, I don't know, between us there's got to be 500-600 players.
Yeah.
If we're
yeah.
being totally honest, if one of them goes on to be a professional out of those 500-600, it's highly unlikely, but it might happen.
Might happen.
The main thing for the other 595, 900, you know,
Yeah.
is you're preparing them, you're helping prepare them for life. And you're
Agreed.
preparing with football, and not it's football, it's helping working in teams and jobs, and that's what you're doing. You're making that individual enjoy their game, being physically and mentally healthy, and expanding their knowledge of football, what they love doing. The majority of the children, you'd go probably over 500 of the kids between them, just want to play for fun,
100%.
and you're the person guiding them through that journey. If between both of our clubs, one of them becomes a professional footballer, fantastic, but I don't think that's the main. Personally, I don't think that's the main goal of what we're doing, because you're there for the majority of the others.
no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. Yeah, I
But-
absolutely agree with that.
But how do you do that? And I say that because nowadays you have to have a minimum of introduction to coaching football.
Yeah.
You must be DBS cleared.
Yeah.
Somebody must have concussion guidelines within your team. Part of your introduction to coaching gives you a safeguarding children course and your first aid course. Those two must be renewed every 3 years. I mean, I say continuous professional development. That's not continual professional
No,
development.
it's
That's
not.
just renewing it.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I recently applied for my level 3. There were apparently too many applied. I got turned down, but I was told if you want to, make sure you are doing your CPD, so we can look at your records and see that you've been doing your CPD to show that you really, really want this.
Yeah.
You know, so there's all these other things you have to do, and there's all the time. Now, I'm going to come to time first, and I'll say this. I don't know how many teams you do, but I'm currently running 2 teams. So I've got my under 16 boys, and I'm doing the under 8 girls. So I'll just give you a scenario of where I am. So on a Friday, I leave my house at 5:20. I pick up a player who lives near me and the grandson, get down here about 5:45, 5:50, set up the training, 6 till 7, take it all down, get home about 7:30. Now, with the lights coming in, there's also putting all the lights up, and usually if I'm first here, I put the lights up as well. So that's Friday night, there's a good 2 hours there. Saturday morning, leaving the house just about 8:30 with the granddaughter, come down here. Mark's already set up the Wildcats, I'm setting up next to him, my lot. So 9 till 10, and then that finishes, take that all down. Perhaps come in here, support the pavilion, go on home again. So another 2 hours on a Saturday. Sunday, and here's where I really hope the wife isn't listening. So let's say we're away and the girls are at St Nicholas at Chipping Sodbury and the boys are at Portishead. So I'll leave the house at 9:15. Again, I'll pick up the player who lives near me and my grandson. So it's 9:15, we'll drive to Chipping Sodbury. That's wrong, sorry. I'll pick up the granddaughter, this is the girls in the morning. Drive to Chipping Sodbury, we'll have 2 matches. First the league game, and then the second, I've got enough for 2 teams, the friendly. That will finish at 12ish. By the time we get back to where I live, 1:45, drop them off, just in time to say, hello lovely, bye. Drive off, pick up the player who lives me and the grandson, drive down to Portishead, have that game, 2:00 kick-off, get back about 4, believe that finishes about 4:45, get back around about 5:00. If we're home, you think, well, you can leave a bit later, but actually no, because you've got to come down, set up the respect barrier.
Yeah.
So actually, it's no real difference because you're the one doing that. And if we're home in the afternoon with the boys, well, you support the pavilion. So actually, I tend to get home later if we're home, because we come in, we have a drink, we have a chat. So yeah, 9:15 in the morning till 5:30 every Sunday from September through to the beginning of May. Please don't listen to this, my darling wife. And then during the week, I work away, so I've got not very little to do on the evening, so I'll end up listening to podcasts. And one is a history podcast, but the other one is football. So I'm listening to football podcasts. I work Monday to Thursday, go do compressed hours. On a Friday, during the day, I'll be working on the club website that I run, updating that. So now, not everyone does those level of hours, and I know, and some people look at me and go, "Are you crazy?" Yeah, maybe. I've been doing this now for 30 years, and I've slightly got it in my blood. But even for a normal manager, and there are some out there, you've still got your minimum 2.5 hours training, your minimum 3 hours of your match, plus there's planning, plus there's calls, there's contacts.
Oh, it's constant. It's relentless.
So
it is relentless.
I mean, and
that's without the continual professional development that they say you could be trying to do.
I think if you were running one team, realistically, you're looking at 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
By the time you've got to plan your session, you've got to speak to the parents and everything. Well, 15 to 20, maybe 20, but 20 on the...
Because when you get home, you've also got to do all the post-match report of sending it all in. In the girls' league, it's on the app, filling all that in.
So I think,
please don't be put off, people. It is good fun. But carry on.
It is worthwhile. But time.
100%.
I mean, granted, I have told many a fib when getting coaches. You're only looking at 3 or 4 hours a week. It really doesn't take much of your time. But what it is, you might lie to them to get them in, because the joy and the satisfaction you get from once you're in.
Yeah.
And it's like with everything, the more you put in, the more you get out. And 9 times out of 10, I think most people, Andy, Ben, we're now in a position that who will be good at it, who've got a good idea. I help them. I'll do it, and I help them with the admin, and then bit by bit, I slowly walk away, and then
slowly, I just drop them.
Bit by bit, and then suddenly they're doing the 15, 20 hours. And how did that happen? I mean, brother's a classic example, and he's fantastic with his team. Yeah. And he's now got 2 teams, and he doesn't quite know he's got
that second team yet, does he?
No,
he does now.
Yeah. And so it's. Yeah, but realistically it does take, and I think if you could get away with just the amount of parents who think that you do just turn up on a Friday night, Saturday, and off you go, and you could do it.
I think it depends what you want to get out of the children as well. Yeah. So the more you, like you said, the more you put in, the more you're going to get. The more you're going to get out of it. For me, the more hours I spend planning, the easier the training session became, and it still does. The more you put in, the easier the session is going to be, because you've run it through your head 3 or 4 times. Be it you've watched one on YouTube, or you've stole ideas from because a good coach is a magpie.
Yeah, I still all my ideas.
100%. And you always got. If I walk past a training session and I don't stop for 5 seconds and have a little look, see what's going on, then am I actually a coach? Yeah. You've got to take ideas from. I might change it and adapt it so it suits my level of player. And you guys will do the same. And I think every good coach, or anyone who cares about whether it be basketball, netball, hockey, football, rugby, whatever the sport, if you will do that, and you will learn, and you'll take elements and you think, I wouldn't quite do it that way, I'll tweak it so it suits my narrative for my players. And I think that's a massive thing as well. So for me, I spend a lot of hours watching YouTube videos, and sometimes overwatch, and my brain's fried because I've seen too many drills. I'm like, actually, what was I doing?
But this is the problem with planning, because you have to change it up. So what I've done with our boys in the past is I've worked on a 5 or 6 week regimen of, this is the basic routine, and over those 5 or 6 weeks we'll do the same routine but getting more and more complex.
Advanced,
And then, because by week 3 they've got it, and by week 5 they've got it, and they're doing really well at it, and they're learning from it.
Agreed.
First 2 weeks they're just getting to understand it. with my girls, I don't know if I can do that for more than 2, maybe 3 weeks, because they're going to get bored of it.
Yeah.
So you need to be, okay, we've done that for 2 weeks, it's just something different now, you know.
Yeah.
But how many routines are you having to look for to learn to try out with them across even just one season?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
You know.
Do you ever go back to a training session?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's really good, because if I say to them, we're going to do this today, do you ever give them ownership and go, can you set that up?
Yeah, as we
I
have
do
done
that.
now.
I do that quite often. Once they've know the drill,
Yeah.
and they know what we're going to do, I'll go, right, girls or boys, we're going to be doing this today. Show them the plan, and they go out and set it up.
I mean, things like the warm-up, the boys' warm-ups, we were doing that from virtually under 7, under 8.
Yeah.
Once I've shown the
Warm
warm-up,
yourself
it's
up.
like, off you go.
You know the warm-up.
Go
and
do
it.
this, yeah. And the expectation was that by the time they were under 9, under 10, we'd turn up and they'd be warming up. Under 16 now, we turn up, they're firing shots at the keeper. Boys, go and warm up. Come on, you know the routine.
You're going to pull a hammy kicking balls at the goalkeeper from the
Like,
edge of the box.
come on, we've been doing this for years, you know the routine. But yeah, you know, once you tell them, once you remind them, it's like, oh yeah, come on. And all I have to do is say, look, and every time we look, the opposition are warming up properly. And it's like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no,
I don't know what you like that, go on. Hopefully yours are better.
The girls are, they're getting there. They're not too, but
They're younger, obviously, than the
they're
16s.
Yeah, so they are quite. The warm-ups they're pretty good at. I mean, but again, each day is different. And you said today, I must admit, my girls are usually pretty good. Tonight, we had a training session. Not one of them listened. They were all doing their own little thing, no matter what. I could have been there. I might not have been there. They really didn't give a monkeys tonight.
Could have been sat in the car park.
They really didn't give a doodahs. But because, again, they're young.
Yeah.
And you're going to get nights where
mate.
there's something's happened at school, something's happened here, there's been something, there's far more exciting.
They've been on a school trip or whatever, yeah.
And what I was saying tonight went in one ear, out the other, and they didn't give a monkeys, really. But most of the time, but you've got to ride with it. So you then, so I reined in, I was going to do X, Y, Z, I thought that ain't going to happen tonight. No. And they just had a game and stuff. And because
I was going to say that. The game is the biggest fallback, and there's nothing wrong with that. I always used to criticise myself, thinking, this session's not going very well. I'm just going to have a game. And I used to think to myself, that's me giving up. But actually, ultimately, what are they going to do on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon?
Yeah.
They're going to play a game.
Absolutely.
So where's the best place to learn? In a game environment. Yeah. Now I might stop that game and go, right, what could we have done here? Stay where you are. What can we do here? We're on the ball. Where can we play from here? And then that becomes my training session. So I used to beat myself up. Now I don't.
No.
So I've got a very standard thing that if I've had at least a 3-week break, maybe 3 or 4 week break, the next training session we come back, it is just a game.
Just a match.
Yeah, nothing else.
Just
the
the
first thing back. It's just that reminder, that muscle memory reminder.
Yeah.
Get back into it.
Yeah,
I don't
100%.
even think about coaching that very first, and then the next week we're back into coaching.
Yeah.
But you've had a break. Let's get you remembering what it's about.
Yeah.
That's always the way I do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, and another. You talk about the girls tonight. Had no interest. That's another one for a future podcast. Obviously,
Yeah.
the difference between the boys and the girls,
Yeah.
because you tend not to get that with the boys. And also, we had a game recently where the team playing me went through, and my last defender was twirling around in circles with their arms wide. And they just ran straight past her.
I've had that at boys as well.
Oh, have you? Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
Looking at aeroplanes generally.
I can remember looking at the train when I was younger. But I did watch the play when they came towards me. Okay, so another thing we have to do, and I find myself doing it quite often, is being a qualified referee. I don't know if you gentlemen, how many here are qualified referees? I am.
I am.
Yes,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
It wasn't the first thing I did, but when I thought about when I became a manager, I have to be a qualified referee. But it's just an unfortunate side effect of it. But what do you find are the advantages and drawbacks then of being a referee at your own matches?
Drawback is
'Cause,
you end up defaulting to referee.
I say at your own matches because obviously you a referee. Yes, you can referee other matches for your club, and you get called upon. That's another thing. But first, let's go with your own matches first.
So if you haven't got a referee, you tend to be the volunteer that does step up, just so the children can play. And ultimately that's what it's around it. Like no referee, no game. We say it quite often. And if you haven't got a referee, you haven't got a game, have you? So yeah, so when you're the qualified one and you've got your DBS check, etc., so you're unfortunately that man or woman in the middle, aren't you?
Yeah, again, you do it because A, you're qualified, B, you know, for the girls or boys, like I said, like Ben said, no ref, no game. It's such a big thing, and you do it, and again, you can't win. I think
No, you can't win.
I have been accused of, and I think I'm sure everybody has around here has been accused. You're favouring your own team. Oh, in fact, you're favouring the away team more than. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
I probably go if it's a 50-50. I will tend. I'll go for the away team just on that thing, and you know we'll
You try and overcompensate,
yeah,
don't you?
yeah. And you get accused no matter what though. You get accused. I mean, it wasn't my own team. I reffed a women's game last week. And both teams were not happy with me at the end of the game. And I think, and to be honest, I thought, well, fair enough. I've probably been, at least I've been consistent. I might have been rubbishly consistent, but both teams have ticked. I think if you, but you can't win. And again, I think we've done this on this podcast with refs, and we were just talking about it's a horrible job. And as a coaches, you have to do it. You do step up, and you can't win. But again, the only reason coaches are having to step up is there's not enough league referees. The reason there's not enough league referees is the abuse they get. Yeah. It is a vicious circle, and the only way to stop this vicious circle is people have got to realise, certainly at youth football, it's children's football. You are not winning the World Cup. You're not winning the Premier League, no matter what. It is kids' football. And most of them, like we've said earlier, 99.9% aren't going to be professional footballers. They might have a career in sport.
Yeah.
But you're not. What are you teaching them? What are you teaching them by giving?
I think whilst you were upsetting both sets of team players on Saturday, I was upsetting both sets of parents on the pitch next to you.
You were, yeah.
You
had a right thing. Yeah.
I had an interesting game on the pitch.
Yeah.
I was refereeing. This is under 8 girls.
Under 8.
Under 8 girls, and I was upsetting both sets of parents. That's mine and theirs. Because the issue was there was a lot of grabbing of each other.
Yeah.
But once they're grabbing each other, if one's grabbing and one's not, it's a clear foul. If they're both grabbing each other, then you just say you just play. Not according to a lot of the spectators.
The other week, funnily enough, I offered my whistle to a parent of the opposition who, funnily enough, it was a away game, and I got there just to watch my daughter because she plays in a team where I'm not a coach now. I help out time to time because coaches asked me to, which is fine. I don't mind. As I arrived, coaches walking towards me and went, "Oh, do you want me to run the line?" Because I don't mind doing that either, because that ends up happening. I don't mind doing that. And the answer was no, they haven't got a referee. So I've asked, "All right, I'll do it, it's fine. We've got my whistle on my back, it's fine." So I ended up refereeing this game, and 5 minutes in, one of our players puts a really good shoulder-to-shoulder challenge in, knocks one player over, straight away, chipping away at me. I was like, "Well, sorry." So I just stopped the game, and I was like, there was nothing wrong with it. Girls play on. I said, "Well, good challenge to both of them." And he wasn't happy with it, this parent, and the game was going on. I just stopped the game where it was and restarted with the drop ball after we had a conversation.
I spoke this particular match. I spoke to the parents 3 times.
Yeah, it was about 3. It was about 3 times in 5 minutes. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah. I've actually during this week created a graphic to show that if you're in one position and then there's a player in front of you and another player beyond them, you can't see the player beyond them. But spectators to the side can clearly see what's happening, but you're behind, so you can't. I've created this graphic ready for next time because that was one of the criticisms I had from people on both sides. Ref, we can clearly see it. I'm sure you can clearly see it.
Yeah.
But I'm in the middle.
And you're running your diagonal line.
I'm giving what I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we don't even have VAR.
No, we have no VAR. It's difficult being, and as a manager, you have to be referee.
You look at VAR, you look at the Tottenham Liverpool game recently. You got 3-4 officials on the pitch. I don't know, 6 or 7 of them in VAR. Apparently, watching the cricket at the same time they were as well. But They were there, so you've got all these officials, you've got all the technology in the world, millions of pounds, and it still goes wrong. On a grassroots football pitch, you've got one person generally, sometimes not even without linesmen. And, and it's ridiculous.
Especially at underage, you don't have line. You don't have anyone running the line because you don't need it, but maybe you do. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean you've got nobody helping. You've got the throw-ins, but again, coaches have to do this because you've got the vicious circle, like we said. There is not enough refs, and we can say we had a ref that we all know, who we all think is impartial, is a decent ref, knows the football to a standard. It's a 15-year-old lad.
Oh, he's a good referee. I know you're on about.
And he got terrible abuse on the weekend, and at the moment will not be reffing any more grassroots football.
Oh, that's sad.
Because he doesn't want to.
And that was at an under-9s game. He got swore at.
By a player.
By a player.
An 8-year-old player.
I'd have sent him off.
Got abused by the opposition coaches and parents and God knows what else. And again, it's adults having a go at a 15-year-old child. It's a child. And I think people have got to get a grip of themselves.
Yeah. Do you think it's worse than after COVID?
Yeah.
Well, I'd say we have less referees.
We have less referees, we have less volunteers.
Yeah.
And I think the sidelines have got worse.
But this is one of the reasons, because there's less volunteers, less referees. You, as the coach, as the manager, have to take these responsibilities on.
Yeah.
And I'll come back to me one more time before we go on. I have definitely changed, and I say this because I hated refereeing my own team when I first ran. It was 10, 20, 30 years ago, and I had to referee my own team. If I can clearly remember one time we were 0-0 with 10 minutes to go. We were like second in the league, and they were through, and my defender just blatantly took one of their players out. Ball went off to the side. Throw in. Ah! Because my own team, I just couldn't do it. And afterwards I said to the manager, please don't make me ref my own team again.
Yeah, exactly.
I just couldn't do it. I'm better now, I am. I just hated refing my own team because I just struggled.
It is hard.
It's
I'm better now, I am. I am better.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
Last weekend,
Shall I say his name as well, the opposition manager?
Go on.
Sorry, John O'Brien, chairman of the Hannah Minor League.
Warmley Rangers. I remember John.
He's chairman of the Hannah Minor League still. Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
He's been around for a while.
In fairness, that we came runners up that season. We lost one game, and it was them who beat us. And we drew. And the game that happened in, we drew with them that game as well.
Well, the other weekend we were short of a referee again, so Muggins here steps up, and I try and do it as impartial as I can. And you do it down the middle, and actually their coach did say to me afterwards in the bar, thank you were really good, and one of the parents came up to me and said, good, so I've taken that one, because you never get told you're good as a referee, do you?
Yeah.
Well, I now get criticism from my own parents because I'm giving too much the other way now.
So
I think
I gave 2 fouls for exactly the same thing, but opposite teams. One was a penalty to us for a push in the back. They went up the other end, and we did it right on the edge of the box. Both scored from both situations, so that guy was like, whew. That was thank God for that one, sort of thing. But late in the game, the ball kept going out of play. Their goalie was wasting time at 1-1, so I kept stopping my watch, and there was 10 seconds to go, and we scored a winner. And I slumped in the middle of the pitch, just like, I looked at my watch and I was like, I can't believe this, because it then I felt like I had played extra time for us to get the win, and it wasn't the case. And I thought, I'm going to have to let it play another minute, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to let them have a chance. And I did that. But it was nice for them to after say, oh, how long did you play over? I was like 3 minutes because of this, why, and that. And they were fine with it. But yeah, it's difficult.
It is difficult.
You can't. The referee, I said, it's all a hard job, but yeah, referee is hard.
It's the hardest.
People on the sidelines, and if you're refereeing your own team, your own club, you'll always, no matter what, you'll get accused of being the home ref. And I think whether it's a Keynsham thing around here, Red Falcons, Fries, and I think potentially Keynsham, I think we are probably too soft some of the time. The home refs around here is
too honest.
Too honest, and you do go that, because, but it is horrible, and fair play to
but we
anybody.
know it, yeah. But we also know how difficult it is to get refs because I think we discussed it in a previous podcast. We actually went down to Porter's Head. He was on his own. He refereed, the manager, and coached. I think we were doing both lines. He had nobody else.
It's horrendous.
So we actually did both lines for him because, and he was so grateful to us.
Under 15s.
Under 15s, yeah.
And he had 14. I mean, and when they came here, he came down on his own. So they've driven all the way from Porter's Head, the parents.
Just drop the kids around.
No.
And just stayed
in
up
the bar.
Not one of them came down.
We kick off, and about 10
Not
minutes.
one of them came down to watch their kids play.
No, they did.
Wow.
No, they did. 10 minutes into the game, I refereed that one. He said to me there, here they come now. 10 minutes into the game, he was on the line. He goes, here they come. I was near him for a throw-in.
Yeah.
I looked round, and they're wandering across the field from the
With a
bar.
drink.
10 minutes into the game, yeah.
So they didn't have to run the line. Do anything.
My jaw hit the floor then.
we are actually
Wow.
better off. But yeah, so it's worse for others.
Yes, definitely,
So,
definitely.
Okay, kit person, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we here we're pretty good actually. We've got the previous secretary who now is in charge of the boys' tots.
Yeah.
He's soccer tots, yeah. Soccer tots. He is the person in charge of the kit. So all as in the official kit.
Yes.
So all the kit, we just put the orders in, goes to him, he orders everything. So that is a lot easier. You look back to the old days and everyone would have to go off and find a supplier and all those other things. And it used to be, I can remember my mum, when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, every Saturday night, my mum would have all the kit in our sink, soaking the mud out of it, put it in the wash machine on the line on a Sunday, drying it out. Nowadays, most teams have got enough that everyone's given their kit.
Yes.
But
It's getting it back in though, isn't it?
Well, I on my previous team, I got a form and gave them a number and got them all to sign it.
Yeah.
So they all had a number. They said, "There you go. That's what you signed for."
Yeah.
I haven't done this, man. I have to admit, I am missing one or two numbers of this kit,
Yeah.
but we're in our final year, so I'm not so
Not too
concerned.
No, I mean, but you get the kit, and they all want to look the part now. So you have
Yeah.
a training kit,
Yeah.
training jackets, hoodies, bobble hats,
Everything, isn't it?
tracksuits.
Yeah.
And
But the
it
good
all
thing now is we don't buy that as such. But you still have to organise it.
So we've been proactive, and we deal with a local company, Kitco, and they've put on our website. We got a club shop on their website. So if any parents want to purchase training kit, etc., they go straight through that.
Yeah, we've got a club shop on our
Yeah.
website, but of course our club shop, the kit never changes.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
So in 20 years' time, our kit will be exactly the same.
Yeah.
We used to use them,
Yeah.
but after 3 years, we got a kit. No, the
Disbanded,
supplier has changed.
Yeah.
So that's why we went this route
Yeah.
instead. And so the kit never changes,
It's
and
good.
that's the good thing about it. But this is a good thing. So I'm currently just ordered some rain jackets for my entire under 8 girls. They just come to me, they give me the sizes, put the email through,
Job done.
and it's job done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. This stuff isn't cheap. I mean, I think.
No,
it's
anything
all
is
business.
though, isn't it?
One of the, if you wanted a coat, the fleece coat from our thing is 40 odd quid.
I think that's-
No, it depends how many you buy.
Well, it goes down to 38.
Yeah.
But I think that's standard prices all
Yeah.
across
Yeah.
the board
So
now.
we
It
do,
is,
but
yeah.
so we do obviously the charity events and stuff like that.
Yeah, we do the same.
And so we
And I got
We
sponsorship
use
to
it-
pay half of
yeah,
mine as
so
well.
we-
That helps, doesn't it?
This is it. You used to get sponsorship for kit.
All the
Now-
time.
Yeah, now you can get. Now you go off and get sponsorship, and
They'll give you half for it.
give you
we're
half
the same.
sponsorship and a tenner off the parents,
Yeah.
and you got the coats, rain
I mean,
jackets for everyone.
I could go off topic here, but
Go a little bit off topic.
little
Go
bit,
on, because as a manager, but as a coach, you've had to do this.
yeah.
You
So we
rogue.
go. So yeah. But with the kit and where I think Red Falcons and Fries are fantastic. I don't know how much Ben's Red Falcons charge. But there was a thing on the Grassroots survey. Do you pay? I think it was £15 a month, 20 to 25, and
Yeah.
up to £46 a month.
Yeah.
Ours is 145 years, so we're.
Yeah.
I almost put. We only charge a tenner.
Yeah,
What the
yeah,
hell
yeah,
are we
100%.
doing wrong here? We're
Yeah,
giving it away.
We screw the prices down exactly like
Yeah.
that as well, because at the end of the day, I want it affordable for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's the whole
And that's the thing for football.
whole thing.
And that's what to be fair, what coaches do, they give up their time.
Yeah.
They give up, and certainly these. I think the clubs so fortunate here
We are.
with the facilities we got and the 2 clubs that we got. And again, hopefully the parents appreciate what everybody does and all the volunteers, the coaches, to keep the costs down.
And the staff.
Yeah.
Here. The staff at Summerhill are fantastic. And without them, I look at them as part of both the families. Do you know what I mean?
They are.
They're part of the Fries and the Falcons family, and that's how I
But
look
we
at
were
treat them.
having a discussion about subs 10 years ago, and I can remember arguing about the cost of it, and we said, God, we can't get that expensive because this club over here are charging 20 quid a month every month.
Yeah.
And that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
So goodness knows what they are now.
Yeah, and I know pitch fees have gone up.
Yeah.
And the bigger you get, the more pitch fees go up. It's a lot of logistics people don't realise. This is the treasurer bit that we're kind of moved
yeah,
on.
we'll carry on. Let's go on. That's all right. We mentioned the young kid. Let's move on to the treasurer. Exactly. That's fine.
But with the going back to the kit side of things as well, like I used to do all the kit orders, and then. But I said it's too much now because the club's growing too much. I need someone else to take it on, or at least help me. And so one of our other coaches, funnily enough, is a coach again, is taking that on and then amalgamated a club shop. But he still has to order strips.
Yeah.
So when we get a full strip come in, so be that 16, 17 kits, he has to organise that because you can't do that through the club shop. So yeah, it's a lot of admin, and I don't think people appreciate it until they're in it.
No.
I mean,
I'm sure there's people that do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the majority don't.
no, I don't think it's because they don't see it.
No.
It's like an invisible task, isn't it?
just happens.
It's not a physical task, is it?
Kit turns up and they come over and said, "Oh, I haven't got socks. Okay, I'll get you some."
Yeah.
And that's all they know.
Sports director.
Yeah.
Just get the black
No,
ones.
as in the manager says, "I'll get you some socks."
Yeah, yeah.
That's all they know.
Yeah.
They don't.
And that is it. But they don't know
what goes behind it.
It goes through 3 people to get those socks, and then the supplier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can move on to treasurer. Absolutely. I mean, I'm collecting subs to pay for kit. I'm subs to pay for referees. Also for the things like the team wear as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so because our club, you're not allowed to have separate accounts.
No, same as us.
So
I made sure we never had separate accounts.
So at home, I've got all this money. Okay, let's keep that there. I've got that there. I don't want to keep this, but I've got to pay it out very quickly.
Yeah, or go and put it
here,
into the
Mr.
club and
Here,
say,
Mr. Treasurer, have that. Keep it to one side.
can I have it when there's a note? Can I have that, please?
And
Just I put 300 quid in.
Yeah. And again, it's a lot of, as you said, and it has to be done that way. But it puts a lot of pressure on the treasurer and stuff. It puts a lot of things.
Our treasurer is very good, but it's a lot of pressure.
I worked out tonight. We've got 24 entities within our club, including the Soccer Tots, Wildcats. We've got 24 entities within our club. That's a hell of a lot of different teams paying in money.
Hell of a lot of people, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Paying in money from different angles, saying, "Oh, this is our team's money. That's our team's money. What's that for?" Well, that's for referees. That's for kit. That's for team kit.
Yeah.
That's for sponsorship. I mean, my team's doing a tour, so that's for tour.
Yeah.
This is for the So, I mean, that's the club treasurer. But so yeah, I mean, you get into it, but you need somebody to be the club treasurer as well as your team sort of fundraising treasurer as well.
Definitely, yeah.
And as I said, the fundraising stuff, and it said for every club to survive, you need. I said to keep the costs down. I mean, I think I said you get these clubs. I mean, when I read £45, I thought, what grassroots club is charging 45 quid a month? Like, I could quit my job and I'm going to charge you 45 quid a month, everybody.
I was listening to Kevin Day talk about his book, Improper and Unfit Persons. It's like now talking about how to start a grassroots team and go all the way to Europe. And I've just bought it, so I'm waiting for it to arrive. And it talks about the costs of right from if you started right now a grassroots team to go all the way through, and it's everything from your registrations for the cost of registering the team, each individual team, the insurances, registering with the league, buying the kits both home and away because you have and all that sort of thing, and having all the insurances, all the training and everything, because like every manager must have introduction to coaching. That's £100.
Yeah, it's a bit more than that now, isn't it?
No, it's £100.
It's 140 odd quid.
150 now, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I looked online 2 days ago to send to one of our managers. It was £100.
Well, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
What was it,
So,
Black Friday? It's Black Friday.
Yeah.
That's what it
I
is.
thought it was 140.
It's about 140 last time we paid.
Well, it was £100 on. So
Right.
whether they got it on offer, I don't know.
That's it, advertise for coaches.
Yeah.
So,
It's cheaper,
But-
it's cheaper this time.
your DBS every 3 years that's £10, I know, but it's your safeguarding is £30 every 3 years.
First aid's 30
First
quid.
aid, 30 quid every 3 years. So all that has to come out of the fundraising.
Yeah, it does.
So which you know, whether you collect it as a manager or you know, I mean, we've now got direct debits and all that sort of
Yeah,
setup.
same
for
as
most of
us,
ours.
yeah.
But this has only been the last couple of years.
Yeah.
When we set up standing orders, I think about 7 or 8 years ago, my team was the first one to do it. Well, we were the first ones to do it. My under 16s when we were under 7s. We set up standing orders, and every team we followed were doing these standing
the same.
orders. Yeah. Before that, it's like 10 quid, 20 quid, 50 quid, whatever, and that was it. I'd pay cash into the treasurer, and that's how you all used to do it.
Chaos.
It absolutely was.
Remember when my dad used to do it? Yeah, he'd be collecting cash as people were turning up. The kids
Yeah.
were giving him cash.
And in fairness, we still do that for the tots and the wildcats.
Yeah,
because it's
yeah, we
just,
do for our
if you,
minis
if you
and
turn
our
up,
wildcats, yeah.
if you turn up, it's
You pay us.
£1 or £2, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
If you don't turn up, don't worry about it, because why would we charge you if you're not here, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's
Because they're not playing in leagues or anything where you have to pay the
But yeah,
registration fees
this-
and the fines and
this,
etc.
this unfit and improper persons book talks about the actual cost of starting a grassroots team right the way up, and just the.
I can't say how much I
Thousands.
spent to start ours.
No, exactly, but that's the point. The
My wife
thousands
might
you
divorce
have
me.
to-
Yeah.
the thousands you have to pay out. It's
And it's said-
ridiculous.
I mean, are they saying it with a child, it's £1 million for whatever it is from when they're
Yeah,
born to their
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
How scary it would be if you looked at an under
I'm not
sevens
even
team. I
gonna
mean,
look.
it would. But and again, I don't think people realise the costs that go involved into because everybody looks. Well, none of you get paid, and nobody gets paid.
No.
Yeah.
everybody's
That's all.
volunteers.
No, people think we get paid. A number of people have asked me, said to me, even my grandchildren say, "Oh, this is your job, isn't it, Granddad?" No, I don't get paid. None of us get paid.
No.
They can't believe that. Some people think this is the paid
So,
role. Everything
and
is
they
voluntary. We do.
They think these facilities are free.
Yeah,
They think everything is just free. And again, we're lucky here. Both clubs get.
Yeah.
They even provide. We get food provided for, and stuff like that. And what we do, and what if
The
people
kids
do-
don't know they're born.
No,
Well, this is it. We
they're
asked them to come in and support the club because the club is
Yeah.
putting on food, and they're like, "Oh no, not going in there." It's like they're putting this on for you.
Yeah.
You
They-
know.
yeah. It's like that. And then you get other clubs that come to it, and I've overheard clubs thanking you.
Yeah.
I've been in the bar at the same time, and I've heard them thanking you.
Yeah.
Oh, the kids love that. Thanks for that. The girls loved it. The boys loved it. Thank you so much.
And I said it's all part.
And it makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whether you've won or lost that day, because that results don't matter. It's just, I just think it's brilliant.
Well, we had a slightly contentious game on Sunday afternoon, didn't we? But by the end, they were all in here. The people who
Yeah.
came in, that had chips, really enjoyed it. They thanked us afterwards. It all went afterwards, the bar itself.
And you
This
say-
is how you want it to be.
100%. Leave it on the field.
You leave it on the field.
Yeah.
Leave it on the
When I was
field, it's
playing,
gone.
leave it on the pitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, people don't realise.
We're digressing from being a coach
We
here.
have.
Yeah,
but
it's
this is
part
part
of-
of being a coach.
Mark and I do this a lot. We start off down this path of chatting about a subject in a podcast, and before you know it, we've gone through the trees, over the hills, and
Yeah.
far away.
Yeah.
Like, where's that path we were on? Miles
So
back.
it is all part of being, and it's part of your daily week that you do it.
Well, that's
and
why
it's-
we're talking about it.
Yes,
Because
in
it's
fairness.
because if we wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't. 'Cause
And
I feel like it's part of my coaching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, I always, to any new parent that comes to the girls, at the moment the girls, the boys are too, I always say the football is important. It is not. It's almost not the most important thing. The most important thing is the social side, being
Friendships.
part of a team.
Yeah.
Like I said, friendships, being part of a community, being part
Yeah,
of
yeah.
something. The football is like 2 hours.
Well, there's football.
2-3 hours.
To me,
The
the
rest
football
of
is what you use to create that social
Yeah.
cohesion and
Yeah.
that community bonding. That's how you use to put it.
Yeah.
You don't. The football isn't the end result. The football is how you use to get there.
And the majority of the memories they've got, most of them can't remember. You said, what happened when you played, I don't know, Bristol Rovers last year?
Well, before
I
you
remember.
Yeah,
But
well, I was going to
we
say,
had-
Mark, before you carry on that thought, one of the things I've got down here is social events coordinator. Now, but I would also add charity event coordinator
Yeah,
because Mark, carry on, Mark, as part of the social events.
But I get it is
As part of that social event coordinating,
Yeah, we do the charity events,
but it's what it's brought out of especially for the girls. I mean, the boys as well who joined in, but the social aspect, things like all those who joined in the walk, they had a great time together, or the going to Wembley, we did going to Wembley.
Yeah, I see all that. It's good.
I mean, the thing, the memories.
Yeah, it is memories, because I think the Wembley trip, the walk, the chips that we have here afterwards, going to watch the Lionesses, everything. When the girls are in their 30s, 40s, that's what they remember. They
remember that. They remember the game they played before it.
No, we played football, but we went to Wembley. We went to and we also raced. And for me, one of the I think as a club, as a thing, and being part of raising, I think we've given the Children's Hospice over £7,000,
amazing.
And that is. But it's getting the girls and the boys to realise you're lucky to play football.
Yeah.
There are people much more, and that is something. I think all football clubs, generally they are part of the community. I'm looking at this summer. There's two old ladies behind you there on their picture, because they're part of the community. They're part of what and the girls have got to show, and the boys have got to show respect to those ladies and stuff like that. And as coaches, you
install that in them. It's a culture.
Yeah.
I look at it as I try to build with any of my teams that I've coached or coaching. I try to build a culture. Yeah. This is how we act, how we behave, it's how we treat other people, it's how we respect the officials. As soon as the final whistle goes, if any of my children don't shake hands with the opposition and the referee, I not force them, but I tell them they got to do it. Yeah. Otherwise, they can't come. They need to go and do that. That is a must. And I'll say it as soon as the final whistle goes, shake hands, say good game.
Yeah.
That's a standard. That's a standard.
First thing I'm shouting in general across the field is shake hands
to everyone.
Yeah.
And one of the other things I've digressed now. And one of the other things I shout when the first whistle's blown is I say enjoy it both teams.
Yeah.
That's my first thing. Yeah. Enjoy it both teams, and that's the loudest. I'll be loud, and then I focus on my team.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I said. I think you could digress. As coaches, you are coaching football, but you are coaching them for life. You are coaching them when they're out and about in their early 20s and they know how to behave. Now, you're not the parents, but like you said, you're like the uncle, another uncle or somebody like that. You're guiding them in life, and so football is important. But like I said, the social events, the charity event, everything like that, the community events, for me, and I tell every parent that comes, is more, or more important than the football.
Yeah, for me.
And if you want to be to a club that it's all about just winning the football matches,
there's plenty out there.
Go and find another club.
There's plenty out there
who
chew your child up and spit them out in 2 or 3 years' time when they haven't grown. And the best player in the world is the shortest player, one of the shortest players in the world.
Now, part of that you say about the children is safeguarding.
Yes.
Now, I don't mean in the terms of, although safeguarding does cover protecting them from abuse, but just being that, like you said, that shoulder to cry on if they're upset, or just that
someone they can turn to.
Yeah, turn to a mentoring. Have you guys had that experience at all?
I have. Yeah, I have a number of times. Sadly,
or in a positive way.
But I can't. It is a positive thing because they've felt they can come to me and they can have that conversation, and then it goes through the proper channels, etc. Because you have to escalate it up, or whether it gets that far and welfare thinks no, actually doesn't. Maybe I'll just go and have a word with whoever, or the child, or whatever. I've
had it in a perhaps a different way, as I see it, is that in my very first team there was a lad whose mum, single parent, mum just either didn't want to or just couldn't get there. Yeah. So from the age of 10, I was picking him up, training and matches every single week. That's all I did. Now, to me, you could perhaps put it under the safeguarding the child, making sure he got to the games, got home for the games, got to training. That was my role. I made sure he got there every single match, every single game training, week in, week out. You know, by doing that, you give that child the outlet of sport
and the freedom,
and then that social group to bond with as well. You know, so it's not, so it's not just about the protection of abuse. It's also the safeguarding in terms of making sure they're safe to get there and safe when they're here.
So with going on that now, what you did back then, which was totally fine within the things.
30 years ago, yeah.
Within today's laws, You
Yeah.
couldn't do that.
No,
I
you
was about to
can. No,
bring-
you can do it within today's laws.
Well,
Yours,
I guess
no.
up to a-
There's no law that says you cannot do it.
Can do it.
What you're saying is you'd be advised under.
Not to.
You'd advised not
Yeah.
to. Yes. There's no law that say you can't pick up a child if mum says go and get in that car and bring them to football. But if that child says something at you and you're the only person, yes, you're in very, very shaky grounds.
Yeah.
There's no law against that.
I would always say, if my coaches ask me, I say you can't offer. But if someone asks you, you make sure there's someone else with you,
'Cause I
just to
think-
protect yourself. Because, yeah.
I think you said previously there was a manager once who was it under 16s, under 17s, used to have to go into the boy's bedroom and pick him up once he was drunk or something at that
wasn't me.
age.
That wasn't me.
So it was a story that once going back again a
That
few
wasn't me.
years ago on
No.
a Sunday morning. So our coach's story where parents said he's upstairs, he's sleeping it off,
Really?
and they would have to
Wow.
go up and drag him out of bed
Really?
to go and play a game on a Sunday morning.
I'd leave him.
No, I mean the story I've told before. I think you've heard it before. Is where the manager, slightly different. Two players haven't been available because one's in Bridewell Police Station and one's in Yate Police Station, and he hasn't gone to get them. That's slightly different. He hasn't been able to go and get them. No, I've gone to get players in my car. Well, in fairness, I still do. One player, he come, I pick him up, then I pick up my grandson because it's on the way.
Yeah.
You know, but that child isn't getting to football otherwise.
No,
And that's it.
But again, I suppose you look at the new safeguarding rules and everything, which are there for a very good reason.
But they're more to protect yourself, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
and it's
If you're an honest, decent human, they are to protect you.
I know. I mean, I look
If
back.
you're the
to,
other side of it, then they're there to hopefully crucify you.
But this, I mean, the thing was, I had this lad. I'd be down here and it's getting dark, and it's 7, 8 o'clock. It's dark, and this 9-year-old lad stood there, and it's like,
you're waiting for
your
mum and
mum
dad,
coming. Yeah, I'm sure he is. And in the end, I'm like, okay, I'll take you home then because she's obviously not coming.
Yeah.
I just take, and it sort of kind of started from there. And she said, oh yeah, I was gonna come. It kind of started from there, really.
Wow.
Still friends with him now. Which is
Yeah,
good,
no, I expect.
which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, what else do you do? That lad would not have had the playing experience and the social experience he had.
And the memories.
And the memories, absolutely
Talking
not.
about going on tour, I never went on tour as a player, so I made sure that I provided that for my age groups. And I said to them at the end of last season, I said, you don't know how lucky you are. I never went on tour because my dad had his own business, etc. So he could, weekends was either football or he was working. So like for us to go on tour was like, it's a massive thing. And that's a social event. And that's that's a core memory.
yeah.
That's a core memory.
And it's said when they're 20-30s, the tours, like you said, going on.
Yeah.
That is what their memory.
And they won't remember playing the games. They just remember we were in the arcade or in the club.
And you said you then go back to how parents, a lot of coaches go on like these autumn cup finals. They won't remember that in 20. But like you said, they will remember that they went to on tour.
Boyne or whatever, yeah.
And they had a cracking.
Or Haven.
Will they remember that they won the under-9s autumn cup final?
Probably not.
No.
Unless you remind them constantly.
Well, by the time they were adults, they would have lost the medal. Almost certainly
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
lost
or
the
it's in a
medal.
box somewhere. Yeah.
But
Unless
the
mum and dad got
memories,
hold of it.
they'll remember.
Well, because all the medals, they're all generic medals.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they might have a sticker on the back saying Autumn Cup or Spring
Yeah.
Cup, and that's about it.
And that's, as I said, for me, it is all about you're coaching them for life. And
Well, we're actually running out of time on this episode. There's a few more things I want to go for. We'll go for just one more of these lists, which is
Go on.
dealing with parents. I know you all love it. just the general dealing with parents.
Okay.
Give me a good story or a bad story, Ben.
I got to be honest. I can't remember a bad story. So I've been really lucky and really blessed that I think when I created Red Falcon, co-founded them, that when I did that, people bought into the ethos of not just the club, but me as a coach. And I set my standards straight away at under sevens. Look, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're about. Please trust the process. And thankfully, they did. I haven't had a crossword with any parent, I'll be honest. maybe
Yeah.
maybe
Give it
one,
time.
but
Give it time.
yeah, it'll come. I know it's going to come, but I think maybe one, but it wasn't even a crossroad. It was just a difference in opinion, and we had a conversation because we were friends.
Yeah.
Because of their child playing, it kind of just that was it. It was like, well, okay, that's your opinion, that's my opinion, and we both just kind of went, meh. We ain't, there's no point in arguing about it.
Yeah.
And I think his words were, should we get a beer? That was it, really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I said, again, with the girls' teams, and so at the moment, they are very good. I mean, bizarrely, the parents I have the most issue with is the ones who don't even turn up.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
I mean,
other age groups from as the chairman I hear about.
So you get parents that, I'll be honest, there's one parent who I'd walk past now and I wouldn't know who she is. But I can guarantee every other week I will get a moan about something that's happened.
An email or a text, yeah.
You weren't even there. You've got on something that's happened or not happened, and I find that personally is what I find the most frustrating. I think the joy of football is a game of opinions.
100%.
And your opinion will be totally different. Andy, I'm sure I'm an annoying parent to Andy with, because he's got both his boys in the under 16s. And as a coach and as a parent, I would say my opinion on certain things as a parent and as a coach.
No, surely not.
No,
surely not.
Can't imagine that.
But I don't mind that with my parents if they're there, because that's the game what football is, how I see it, and how the ones that drop off and then vanish, and I don't, and then they still have the thing to say, well, this wasn't done right, that was. You weren't there.
Yeah, you don't know the situation.
Yeah.
You don't know
the whole picture.
Yeah, exactly, the full picture.
I mean, again, we've got this game on Sunday with the under 10 girls. So we've had these autumn cup games. How the league does it is daft. So we're an A division team. We've been putting with B and C division teams. I will never humiliate a team.
No.
So we've won games comfortably, but our better girls or girls who we consider to be better players, you're only playing half a game, you're playing this, you're playing that. So we've got the final on Sunday. They will play more, but the total game over that 4-game period, everybody would have played the same.
Yeah.
And it's totally safe. We've not humiliated any teams, and we're going to be competitive hopefully on Sunday. I guarantee there'll be 2 or 3 parents who have only come because it's a final.
They'll
turn up and say, well, how come so and so played this, and they'll time it. I will guarantee I'll get messages saying so and so played 12, so and so played 16.
Wow.
And you've not been there for the last 4 games.
You have parents time game time.
Yeah.
Wow. But I think those parents, this is a message from me, you should step up and coach.
Yeah. I will.
I try and do it as fair as I can.
Yeah.
And you do by how you've described it, and I'm sure you do as well.
Yeah.
So if someone was to question my game time, I would literally just hand over my coaching role there and then.
And
ta-da, you do it, me.
But Ben, it'll be parents who've not been to the previous 3 games, who've seen that their daughters played X.
I'm cross for you.
Yeah.
I'm angry for you.
And I'm not there, and I know that is going to happen before it's even happened.
And that's the sad part, isn't it? And you think all those hours you've given up to give their child or everyone's child,
and it'll be minutes,
a chance.
Sometimes, so I've had an email and a moan when we've been at a tournament 10-minute games. You can only sub on and off when the ball goes out of play.
Yeah.
And I've had a moan saying they played 2 minutes less. I couldn't get them on.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Oh, wow.
And so you get that is the frustrating
thing.
Is
unreal.
And I said, unfortunately, I might not even be at this game on Sunday. I might have to go to another game. So missing my own daughter's cup final to make sure 11 other girls can play.
Yeah.
I will then come back and get messages saying, and you think,
I don't mind if they approach you.
No, but
if someone came and see me face to face, I would much prefer that.
Yeah, but it'll be Sunday night.
That makes me sad.
Yeah.
When you're sat down having your tea with your time with your family after being out with everyone else's children for the day.
I guarantee there'll be a message, and it'll start. I don't want to moan,
but
Right.
I appreciate everything, but
yeah.
Right. I'll end this with my little example, and it's not actually not having a go. My first team, the the player played sort of for me for the first 3 or 4 years, and the mum was just a constant worrier about whether it was the child's mental health or the child's ability. Play the game in the morning or the afternoon, go home. And this is the day with the old phones, plugged in phones. And my wife, she'd laugh because guaranteed between 6 and 7 o'clock on a Sunday evening, the phone would go.
The landline goes.
Andy, my so-and-so, I'm a bit worried about him after today's game. And it was virtually every week.
Wow.
Or, do you think he did okay today? Or, what do you think happened today? It was just every single week.
Man.
So it was funny. Don't get me wrong. It was quite funny. And my wife and I would giggle.
Make a joke about it.
She wouldn't get upset. But so it wasn't an angry parent or an upset parent. It was more of a concerned parent. But it was just every
checking
single week. As you're like, oh, she hasn't phoned yet. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
And like you said, back in the phone calls, how do Red Falcons find it with obviously modern technology where it is a lot easier to message?
It's far easier. But I also think technologies is a what's the words I'm looking for?
It's a boon and
It's convenience for wimps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Convenience for wimps.
You mean like the keyboard warriors?
Yeah, no. I mean like the letdowns.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, such and such as. Like my dad, when he would either the player wouldn't turn up, or he would get a phone call on the landline, and that was it. I think it's convenient. Like it's easy to send a text, isn't it? If you think for like going, I could have easily texted you tonight and gone, oh, I'm not going to bother.
And
I've had a bit of a day at work, which I have, but I'm still here because I want to talk about something I feel really passionate about. But like I could have gone, oh, do you know what? I really don't.
Yeah.
I'll just send a text.
And it's easy.
That's easy, isn't it? Boop, I've sent a text. There you go. Phone down on the side.
Yeah.
I don't have to look
Forget
at that again.
about it, yeah.
And then but what I didn't realise is that lets not just you down, but can also let the children down.
Yeah.
I mean, you've planned your sides, your starting lineups, etc. I normally do it the day before or the night before when the wife's trying to watch something. We're trying to watch a movie together, and she's like, "What are you on your phone?" Oh, no, I'll just do my starting lineup.
Oh,
I've starting lineup and stuff.
I've gotten to a point now where I plan the starting lineup when I see who's turned up.
Yeah.
My under 16 is like, who's here?
Yeah.
Like, these are the ones I expected. Good. That was the side I had in mind.
That's the 5 that were, is it?
These 5 are here. They're playing. Out of 11.
I saw something on the thing, which when a parent organises the birthday party.
Yes.
And they say. And you get let down and you think, God, I've spent so-and-so organising events, doing this and doing that.
Done party food, party bags.
And sorted all that, and you've let me down the last minute. That is what a football coach does every week.
Yeah.
And every week you phone up and say, oh, feeling a bit poor. Or
such and such has got sniffles this week.
Or suddenly, Nana's asked to go, we're going to go there instead.
Yeah.
That is what it's... So for a football coach, it is running a kids' party
every week.
Yeah.
3 times a week.
and on that party spirit, we're going to end it here, end of part 1. So we come to the end of part 1. Keep an eye out for part 2, which should be out in a week or 2. However, first sat here, it's going to be recorded after a quick comfort break and a drinks refill. But for now, my thanks to Ben.
Thank you.
And my thanks to Mark.
Thank you.
And
everybody.
We'll be back after this short-ish break.
Don't forget, you can email us your questions, comments, random thoughts, anything you want to share with us at greengrassroots@gmail.com. We are on Twitter at Fry Club JFC, on Facebook, which is Fry Club Junior FC, and the club website, which is www.fryclubjfc.co.uk. You can type out a review on Apple Podcasts, and if you like us, then please give us 5 stars on Spotify. You've been listening to a We Haven't Got a Clue What We're Doing production, produced and edited by Andy Glover.